with all of the recent government U-turns on the taxation policy, it's very curious as to why the government has done that or doing this. I personally thought tax cuts in any way, shape or form are a good thing, because taxation largely is just theft, and the whole scheme is basically robbing people of their life force in a very clever financial way. So even if it were people that, even if I wasn't personally going to benefit from a tax cut, I'd still think it's a good thing somewhere. So it's not too surprising that they've backed down on it, but what is happening here is the trust in government is being eroded even further, and the anger towards government is going to be increasing. And I believe part of this is orchestrated for a good purpose, and it could be capitalized on in the freedom-loving people, freedom lovers movement, because we could use this to implement more freedom-loving government systems. We'd have to be very, careful and smart on how we do that. But also, I think part of what this is being done is so that the trust in the current government we have in the political system is eroded and destroyed. So at some point, some sort of reset or crash, dramatic event is going to happen where it's like, okay, now we need to have a one world government or something different to what we have now that doesn't require the elections in the way that they are being done, and would be even more in the hands of globalist super elite dark forces. I believe that's part of what's happening. So it's a bit of a tough balance, because obviously we see what the politicians are doing, and we're like, fuck you guys, you're running the country in such a terrible way, but it could be worse, right? So at least in the current system we have, there is still a possibility for good people to get into positions of power, especially in local elections. And I do still have a little bit of faith in the system in that regard, and I can see how it could be a lot worse. But that's not mean to say that we just sort of put full faith into what can be done just by voting. We still have to take action every single day. But there are other alternative political parties out there, and they may actually gain more traction and power with the ridiculousness of the current two political parties increasing in magnitude. It's a bit of a gamble. It's a risk. If our enemies are deliberately doing this, they're going to erode the trust in politics so much that there could be an opportunity for something new and fresh to get in there that's positive. I think it would take quite a few more awakened souls, but then the awakened people need to be awake and stay awake and keep progressing and evolving and developing, and not go back to sleep and think everything's okay now. We defeated a few COVID mandates here and there. No, the battle's still going on. We still have to get stronger, unite, educate ourselves, and become more powerful. We can do that every single day, and I've got a lot of videos covering this, and that's why my focus is a lot about empowerment, spirituality right now. Activism may become the forefront of it in the future, but for now, yes, let's keep our eye on the ball, but also be aware of the agenda. Get clued up on what our enemies are trying to bring in the longer term, and then a lot of what's happening makes a lot more sense. And then you can look at it, get your perspective on it, tell your friends and family the best thing, the better perspective of what's going on here, and then just put it to the side, carry on with what you're doing. Don't get too dragged into it. And also, that's part of why I have my coaching and my 30-day program that I'm offering to people, is because if you want to have continued, sustained change and positive mindsets and belief systems, it can be good to stick to something for 30 days. Just get in touch with me, info@traviscook.uk, and let me know, and maybe we can have a call and see if it would be a good match and go from there. But big ups to everybody who knows what they're doing and on their path, and yeah, hold the vibe.